Hello YouTube, this is NC Jester and I am here with my FM17 save that I'm going to be starting this week. We're going to be playing as Bath City. I asked on Twitter for some suggestions and this one came back pretty highly recommended, so I've set myself up to take over Bath City. I'm going to just kind of go over the team with you, let you know where it's at, what my plans are. We're going to look at this, get some things set up, and then I'll come back after I've played the friendlies and give you an update on where we're at. Like I said, this is Bath City. They are in Vanarama Conference South. The club's kind of had a up and down history. If you look, they were promoted out of the Vanarama National South in fourth, I assume. That was in 2009, 2010. It was through a playoff. They made it into the National League, finished 10th. Then they came back down and dropped back down into the South again. And since 2012, 2013, they finished in 11th, in 7th. The last 2 years have not been too good, finished in 14th both years. So we're going to look and try to see if we can do something about that. It's a semi-professional squad. They were founded in 1889. So it's got a pretty good history going with it. If we look at, they're projecting us to finish 13th. We're going to try to do a little bit better than that. We've got about 250 season ticket holders, and it looks like the team is fairly loyal, which is a good way to set things up. They've hired me as their coach. I've set myself up as a 52-year-old, which is what I am, with and I let the league set it so it's a Sunday league with, I think it's a National B license. We'll look at that in just a second. The stadium is in poor condition. Has a capacity of 8,840 with 1,006 seated. The field is in very good condition. Youth level is 0 basic training facilities, and our youth training is at the University of Bath. There's no affiliates. If we look at the overview of the club, they have won 3 of the Southern League Premier Division titles, 1 Western League Premier Division title, and the Red Ensure Southern League Cup. So they do have some history of winning, but it's not a steady history. And if you look at when they've won these things, the last time that was in the Southern League Premier Division in 2007, the runner-up in 2006. But since then, it's been pretty dry for Bath City. So we're going to see if we can kind of turn that around for them. Just look at me real quick. You can see where I'm at. Here I am, 52 years old. It because of the quirks, I guess, with the beta, it doesn't let me change an awful lot, so I'm limited in where I'm from and what I can do. But I've got a National B license, Sunday League player. When I set myself up, I gave myself some different languages. I speak English, Spanish, German, and French. Rarely, and I haven't had a news conference or anything yet, so you can see this is going to be kind of an interesting save for me. We look at the squad itself. We've got 2 guys on loan that are coming into the squad, and I'll go a little bit more in detail with these guys. First is a 19-year-old keeper, Max O'Leary. He is coming to us from, looks like Kidderminster. Not take that back. He's actually at Bristol City is where he's contracted to, but we've got him on a loan until January. And looking at it, the reason that we have that is I'll show you our other keepers. So this is something we're going to have to take a look at it. But this guy, his handling is 9, one-on-ones is 9, first touch isn't that great, reflexes is 12, which I'm really happy with, decisions is 15, command of area is 10. One of the things I always look at is handling. What are they like when they get that ball in front of them? And he looks like he's a pretty good setup for us. I know I can't afford to keep him a long time by any stretch of the imagination, but I think he's going to be a good player for us. Our other keeper is Stephen Phillips, and Stephen is 38 years old. His handling is 7, one-on-ones is a little bit better, but he's also 38, and I think what we're going to see here is a massive drop in his stats and his ability. He's pretty much been with Bath for 2 years. He bounced around with Bristol City, Crew, before he finally kind of landed here. But I think the age is going to be an issue. He's 38, and so we're going to have to kind of keep an eye on him. He's unhappy because of the goalkeeping coach, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes and why that's an issue. The coaches all the way around. I went through and looked at the players and kind of set the side up. This is all subject to change, but just kind of know what I'm looking at for my starting 11. I got Dan Bowman in the right back. Nothing really stands out to me there. I mean, his marking is 10, his tackling is 10. I'm worried about his concentration and determination and positioning, but we're going to kind of keep an eye on him. This is just an initial feel of looking at the team and what I might be some changes I may be looking at. He's 22. If I look at his coach, the report on him, he's pretty much maxed out as far as he can go. The thing that bothers me really quickly here is the inconsistency and the fact he doesn't enjoy big matches. I mean, at this level, what do you classify as a big match? I don't know, but to say that's already an issue is something to be concerned about. The center back I've got is Jack Button. He's 20 years old. Marking is a 12, tackling is 7. His determination is 5, decisions is 15. I mean, it looks like he is going to be a pretty good fit for us there in that back. The report that we got on him feels that he can be improved. He work on his determination, but I think we can get him to improve, and he's going to be a great asset for us. The other one I have back there is Chaz Hemmings. Chaz is 24 years old. Another one looks like he's pretty much maxed out. I do not like his marking and tackling at all. I mean, if you're going to play in that back line, you have to be better at forward marking, because that's what you got to do is shut that down. I do like what he's got for his determination. His positioning is a 3. That's just not acceptable. So this is one we're going to be looking at, maybe moving him to a different position. Not sure, but that's kind of where I have him set at right now. On the left back is Monty, I believe that's Month, and I'm very pleased with him. I mean, if you look there, his marking is 13, his tackling is 12, concentration, determination, positioning of 10. He's 21 years old. He's from the Cameroons. He looks like he is going to be an excellent player for me. I hope that kind of plays out that way. If we look at the report we have on him, he's slow, which can be an issue, but I think that if we look at everything else that we see with him, hopefully that's not going to become an issue. And when we see his pace is 5, that's something to be concerned about. But I want him to be playing in position back there, not killing himself trying to chase people down the field. I play a 4-2-3-1, so that's what I've set this up as. One of my midfielders is Frankie Artus. He's 27. First touch, heading, marking, I'm not pleased with. Concentration, determination. Looks like he's got the potential to do okay for us, but it's one I'm going to keep a real close eye on. He doesn't like marking, and that's kind of what I see. And he doesn't like the attack coaching. Well, we're going to see once again how the coaching is going to be an issue. Billy Murphy is my other midfielder. Once again, marking is 6, tackling is 6, positioning is 7. I want him to I want to see improvements on that. But, with what we're looking at right now, he's 21 years old. We've got some potential. We might be able to get better. And that's one of the things I bring up. He's got to be more consistent, and kind of seeing that with what I was looking at. Then when we go to the attacking wingers, on the right is Josh Hutchinson, a 20-year-old. He's got a lot of room for improvement. One of the things I always look at when I'm setting up my front line is crossing, and his crossing is a 7, but his dribbling is a 10, which I'm really pleased with. His first touch is an 8. Concentration definitely needs to improve, and his acceleration and agility and pace are fantastic. He's going to give me some great speed coming down that left side, and I'm really pleased with that. He's also somebody I can put into if I need up as a striker as well. If we go in here, he needs to get better in the air, but I think with his speed and his agility, we're going to be able to to do some stuff with him. In the middle is Naby Diallo, a 25-year-old. He is just kind of he's kind of average looking all the way except for his pace and acceleration. His pace is 14 and acceleration of 13. His flare is a 13 as well. Heading of 11. He looks like a good average across the board player. And that's something. Looking at it, that's one of the things that I'm seeing is if we look here at attacking midfield or central, I really don't have much depth there. So it's something I'm going to have to look at moving forward. On the left, I have Shaquille Hunter. Shaquille's a 20-year-old, and he is another one that I'm really pleased with. His crossing is 11, which I think is fantastic. I want to get his passing up because if you're going to be crossing, you got to be able to feed that ball into the middle with the tactic that I play. Work rate of 8. His pace, his natural fitness. This guy is just a speedster. Once again, giving me some good speed coming down the right side. But if he's not able to get the ball into the guy who's coming up the middle, it's going to defeat the purpose of what I'm looking at there. But I like what I'm seeing here with Shaquille. Marvin Morgan is the other guy I have on loan. He is 33 years old, and when I first looked at it, I thought, wow, I'm not sure about this guy, but we've got him on loan until June 1st of next year, so we've got him for the whole year, and he's got a lot of things that I look at. His determination, his decisions. First touch I'm not ecstatic about, but his teamwork, his work rate, I think he's going to be a good player for us to have up front. If we look at his coach report, he can be inconsistent. And that's one of the issues that I see with him. If we go and look at our strikers here, we're kind of limited there. And you would think with a team this size, we'd have a little bit more depth. We'll take a look at Stuart Fleetwood in just a second. But I think to start out with anyway, Marvin is going to be who I'm putting up there in the front. We looked at Stephen Phillips. One of my second sub I have here is Dan Ball along the back line. Dan's 24 years old. And his passing and tackling are good. Marking is good. It's one of these. He may be one that I kind of look because of his crossing ability and his passing ability. Maybe look at seeing if we can train him, get him to train somewhere up here on the attacking front line as a winger. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but we may give it a shot. Problem is determination, and he's slow, and that would be an issue putting him up front. What's going to happen if I put him up there with the speed that I want? So, but he's a good one for us to have and keep an eye on. We've also got Andrew Elcock, who is a 21-year-old hot prospect we have, and he's pretty much like everywhere. Right now we've got him set up as a midfielder. Nothing really stands out there. And if we look at the report from him, it's, he's just kind of fair to middling. I mean, there's nothing really exciting about him, but right now we're just going to kind of be playing with the players we have. We also have Lee Marshall is a backup for the midfielder. He's 19. He has a lot of potential looking at him. His positioning needs a lot of work. His teamwork needs a lot of work. But these are things we can work with as he's 19 years old. If we look at this coach report, also saying he needs to work on his crossing and marking, as was saying, we need to take a look at him. But this is a guy we can work with if I get the coaches in. Andy Watkins is another guy I can put up front. Andy's 31. His dribbling is good. His first touch is good. But if you look, putting him back anywhere in a central midfielder or a wing back coming up on the wings, he just, you've got a crossing of two. He may be able to play in that attacking midfielder central position, but I don't see him, because if you put him out here, like I said, with that crossing of two, passing of six, he's just not going to cut it there. So we can use him as a striker, we can use him as attacking midfielder, but I think he may be one that we're looking at offloading. He can be wayward when crossing the ball. It's just what we're saying. Decent for regional premier divisions, fairly inconsistent. So, he can dribble, but he needs to be able to get rid of it because dribbling is not going to be everything that we need him to do. Stuart Fleetwood, this is the other guy I was talking about. Stuart is 30. He's a Welshman. Looking at him as a striker, he has a high anticipation, concentration. Finishing is an 8. I mean, I think he looks like he can be a good pickup for us. He was signed before I came here, so he just joined this year. He's not one also that can be used as a on the outside because of his crossing, but I think he'll be a good addition for us. We also have Nick. I guess this is McCooty, 24-year-old Englishman, and he is was on a backup contract. He's not signed to anything right now. Just somebody that would be a emergency backup. I mean, if we look at the thing here, his crossing, he's very selfish. He doesn't enjoy big matches, inconsistent. So but he does have a lot of composure, and so if we can work with him on it and get him to increase, then it's somebody we can deal with. If we look at the under 23 squad, we have 2 guys. We have a goalkeeper, Corey Harvey, who is somebody that is definitely somebody I can look at bringing in. His handling is great. I mean, there's a good possibility I may promote him and get rid of Stephen Phillips. I mean, it's just because that's as far as I may let Harvey play one more year down under the under 23s, but he's obviously going to be somebody that we're looking to bring up. We've also got George Rigg, who is a defensive right back or a midfielder. Once again, we've got some issues with him. In the attacking coaches, I understand that. That's something that we need to look at. If we go to the under 18s, you can see they're all ghost players. So that's something we're going to have to work on. Like I said, the tactics I've set up is a 4-2-3-1, and right now I've got them set control, fluid, and the instructions I gave them. Let's get to the flanks. We've got the speed out there. Let's take advantage of it. I'll work the ball into the flanks, look for overlap on there, and I want them to play fairly wide. This is kind of the standard I come up with when I'm playing a match. If we go on down here and take just a quick look at the team report, you can see we've got our Max O'Leary, we've got some transfer budget, we've got some players that they're looking at, and wow, this is good. But if we go over here, we have no depth as a right back. We have no depth in the defense at all. We have really no depth outside of the first team. Dan Bowman is okay, but we need to upgrade that. Our work rate is not great. Our strength is not great. Leadership, we've got some problems there. I mean, so we've got some major issues. And if you look at the last 2 down here, coaching staff and scouting staff, well, we'll take a look at that real fast, and you'll see why. The coaches, we have no scouts, which is going to be a major issue. We have to get some scouts in. We've only got the head physio. But if we go here and take a look at the assistant manager, this is something that just caught me. His man management level is 5. I mean, I'm going to take a look and see how much it's going to cost us to get rid of him, but a man management level of 5, there's nothing on here that I look at that says this is something that I want to keep this guy. Man management of 5. The other thing I look at is their judge player abilities, and he's a 3 and a 5. I mean, so I think I could go out and ask my dog for an opinion on some of these players, and he would give me a better idea than what I'm getting from Jim Rollo. And also as a coach itself, attacking, defending, fitness, and goalkeeping, 2s and 1s. He's not adding anything to the team, and that's what I need to address. I mean, if you look at his history, he was a player coach, he was a coach, now he's assistant coach, and it even says he was a fitness coach. I don't see how. So Rollo is on the way out if I can afford it. If we look here at Matt Taylor, who is my coach, once again, okay, attacking and defending of 7s, fitness of 4, goalkeeping of 1. I mean, he's even got a better man management scale than the assistant manager. So he'll probably be somebody I keep around just because of the similarity. What I see here is some benefits. If we look at the head of youth development, at least he's got a working with youngsters rating of 12. Because of his contract, it's probably going to cost me quite a bit to buy him out, so I'm going to let him hang around. And like I said, no scouts. If we look at our physio of 7. So I'm going to try to bring somebody in that's a little bit higher than that. I've been playing around some offline with FM17, and I know there's better guys out there. The transfers, we do have nothing coming. We do have 2 guys that were coming in. I've not set anybody out. I've not shown anybody to go anywhere, but I'm looking at moving some of the players around. Like I said, this is the history of the club we looked at. The board, they are okay with what we're doing. I mean, we've got some money to spend. We're looking at a balance of about 18,000 pound, and we've got a transfer budget of £1,000. We're right now about 3,000 below our wage budget, so, and I like to keep it that way. If we look at the staff, I never gel with a director of football. I don't know why. I can get a under 23s head coach and an 18 head coach, but until I actually get some players that are down there, I don't see any reason to do it. I can also get an assistant coach for the under 18s, and I can get another physio. I can't get any of the sports science stuff, but if we look down here, I can get an under 18s coach. Don't need it. I don't have any players down there. I can have 3 scouts. So that's going to be getting a new assistant manager and getting some scouts is going to be my number one issue. Then on top of that, we're going to be looking at how are we going to deal with some of the glaring holes we have in this side. And just real quick, look at the finances. This is what I was going over just a second ago. We're setting okay on finances. So here I am, once again, the confused Jank, trying to figure out what I'm doing here. But Bath City's where I'm at. My thought is this is where I'm going to stay. Unless the great offer comes along that I move up, I'm planning on staying there and seeing what we can do with Bath City. We can see how they've had an up and down season or history, and we're going to see if we can kind of stabilize that and get them going in a positive way. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I will be looking at revamping some of the squad and the coaching staff, playing the friendlies, and bring everybody back at that point, kind of give them an update. Maybe the first match of the season, we'll go ahead and do that, record that, and that will be part of our upload. My thought in doing this is probably playing like 3 or 4 matches offline and doing one online that I kind of share with you as I do that. Looking at this, we have some pretty strict rivals here. We got Chippenden, Cleveland, I guess, Gloucester, Forest Green, and Cheltenham. So definitely, if I play any of these, we're going to watch these. You're going to see those live. You're going to see my reaction. I guess that's one of the things people like when I do this is my typical Yank reaction. But anyway, that's what my thoughts are. That's what we're going to do going forward. So thanks for the watch. Thanks for paying attention, and we hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.